How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this is going to be a very special edition of what is normally the podcast. If you listen to the podcast, thank you so much for doing that, by the way. If you don't listen to the podcast, you can find it on all of your major podcast platforms, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. We're on just about everything. You can find the moving platform under your podcast search right there. So make sure you listen to the show there. Subscribe if you're on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating and even leave a little bit of a review. That helps so much. But this one's kind of special because I wanted to do an episode on Disney bounding, which of course we all know is the kind of fashionable choice inspired by whether it be a Disney character, food item, ride, so many things. I've seen so many things get Disney bounded. So I wanted to bring on some friends to talk about Disney bounding, but Disney bounding is kind of a visual thing. So about 30 minutes before we decided to start recording, they pitched, why don't we do this as video? So I quickly set up my camera and I set up everything I could and we did it as a video. So this is a special video cast side of the podcast. It's the same audio from the podcast, but here you actually get to see us talk about things. You get to see their different looks, their different styles. You get to see all sorts of different stuff. So it's a lengthy little video. So stick around, watch through. It's a lot of fun. Such a fun conversation. And, if you don't have time to watch the video, that's okay. You can find the exact same audio over on the podcast. So you can listen while you're at the gym, while you're driving, whatever the case may be. But hey, that's enough of an intro from me. So let's get to the video about Disney bounding with my friends at Girl with the Dole Whip Tattoo, at bibbidi-bobbidi_broke, and at Kitten Bomb, my friends, and let's talk about some Disney bounding.
All right, well, how's it going, ladies? Good afternoon, evening? It's like 5.
Hello.
I'm so used to doing these in the morning, so it's weird to do them after like 9 a.m.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Yeah, we're later people, later in the day.
And I'm such a morning person, and my
Same.
girlfriend is the complete opposite. Like, I am like up at 8 o'clock, go get my day started. She will sleep till 11 o'clock noon if I let her.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's me. Or I need to just lay in bed and get my life together. Like, I hate early morning photo shoots. I'm always late to them because I'm like, well, it takes me an hour to put my face on. So
Facts. I can attest to that. I can't tell you how many times I've waited in the car for Adriana to get her butt to Disney.
yeah, that's me. I totally confess. And if we at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be there.
But you have to do the early mornings in Florida because it's so stinking hot.
It's hot. Thank
And
you.
you have to do the early mornings in Florida if you're doing theme park pictures so that you can get the good pictures before everybody gets there.
Yeah,
that's really
not
what
a million
it is.
people.
Right, exactly. So we've jumped like 10 minutes into the episode already.
Sorry.
So let's just dial it back a bit.
My bad.
For this episode, you will hear the least amount of my voice that you've ever heard on a show. By the way, this one's on video, which we decided to change 30 minutes before we were going to record.
Again, my bad.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't gonna,
I will take
gonna
it.
call you out.
Have you seen how good my hair looks? The people need to see it. Like,
She was like, I did my hair, okay?
I got my hat on.
And I literally
Thank you.
was, y'all, no hair on, no makeup on, walking around in a t-shirt like, what? What? I gotta get ready?
So this podcast episode has a video bonus episode. It is the same audio from the podcast, but you'll be able to actually see us. And the reason we did this is because I wanted to bring on something I get asked about a lot, and it's something that I don't even do that often. So I don't know why people think I'm the expert on it. Is I wanted to bring on some people to talk about this crazy world known as Disney bounding, which I will let one of, I will introduce you ladies, quickly so everybody knows who you are. I have two Aarons. So I have Aaron, also known as Girl with the Dole Whip Tattoo. We have Adriana. We have Adriana, also known as at Bibbidi Bobbidi Broke, which is hands down my favorite Instagram handle because every time I leave Disney, I feel Bibbidi Bobbidi Broke.
Exactly.
And then we have Erin K, also known as at Kitten Bomb on Instagram as well. So Erin K, I will refer to you as Erin K. That's how we will just try and keep this somewhat.
Or Kitten Bomb.
Or Kitten Bomb.
I just call it Kitten Bomb.
Yeah, we all call it just Kitten Bomb.
Kitten Bomb. All right, well, we will just call you Kitten Bomb then. Kitten Bomb is the only one I've actually never met in person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, we've never actually met. I know Erin, and I randomly met Adriana during Flower and Garden Festival like 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we did not get a Flower and Garden this year. Thanks, coronavirus.
Yeah.
So we did not get that this year. So it was last year at Flower and Garden. I was vlogging, and you came up and you were like, "I like your style," you know. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah,
Thanks.
like I definitely like after I thought about it, I was like, I probably was being a weirdo that day, but like that's me. And so I was like, "Excuse me, are you vlogging? I like it."
It can't
okay.
be any more weird than when I ran you down with my scooter, Adriana, at Epcot.
Hands down, best day ever. Okay, I was trying to be cute. I had this whole idea. I was going to Flower and Garden. I was wearing this purple outfit. I had just got into being an Instagrammer. And like my boyfriend was like, I don't understand what any of this about. But we go to Flower and Garden on a Sunday. So I'm going to let her be cute and feel her oats and take her someplace nice. And so I'm like walking around in Flower and Garden. Like, I can't wait to take my picture with my violet lemonade just in my own little world. And somebody's like, excuse me. And I'm thinking like, and she's in a scooter. So I'm like, oh, she want me to move out her way. And it's like right in the walkway when you're going up to World Showcase. So it is like a narrow corner. And so I was like, oh, let me get out your way. And she's like, hey, can I take a picture? And I was like, with me? She's like, yeah, you're famous. I was like, who is this woman? I am not famous. But it was so cute. I loved it. And I was just like, it made me like, I was like, okay, well, I'm famous now because somebody knew me. Like, obviously, I still don't feel like famous. I don't think any of that. I'm not that type of person. But she did make me feel very special.
She was looking so cute too.
And then after I realized who you were, I was like, oh, you're the girl who hangs out with all of the girls that dress alike. And you was like, yeah, I'm married to one of them. And I was like, I didn't know that.
Oh, the Disney bound dynasty right there.
The whole family.
That's a lot to say. That's a lot to say.
No, it is. I mean,
it's facts. You're like Disney bound royalty.
Everybody knows who your entire family is because it's just so cute, and we love it. We love to see it.
Yeah. Like I've seen Kitten Bomb in the parks before, but I'm one of those people that I won't approach someone that I know that I've never met. Like I'm terrible at meeting someone for the first time because I'm just so like reserved that because it doesn't bother me. I don't get recognized often. I think I've gotten recognized 3 times the entire time. The first time was the only time it was weird. And that was because it was at 1:00 in the morning after Magic Kingdom after hours. And I was filming on Main Street because I wanted to get the sitting on an empty Main Street shot. So I'm waiting. So I film, I put my stuff up, put it back in my bag, and this lady walks from across Main Street. She goes, "Are you Michael from the moving platform?" And I think I took at least 1 step. I may have taken 7. I'm not real sure.
1 or 7.
I might have just run away from her.
Like what? Like so that was. So because of that, I'm always so like reserved about like walking up to people and be like, "Hey, I follow you on Instagram," because I never know when somebody's gonna be like, "Thanks," and block.
I love when people come up and talk to me in the parks. Like it's probably one of my favorite things about this community is that I actually do run into people from Instagram in the parks.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Erin and I just walked up to her at Dapper
She's like,
Day Eve.
Erin!
Erin!
And I was like, Erin!
See, you have that cute thing though. You have the same name. It's cute. Me, it's a pushing 40-year-old white dude, and it's like, hey, no, weird.
But it's right.
Like,
That's the Disney wheelhouse right there. The ladies
like,
have invaded because that's what it was when I first got here.
Yeah.
I was at Tampa Comic Con last year, and there was a girl that was in this fantastic Catwoman Selena Kyle cosplay from Batman Returns, so the Michelle Pfeiffer one. So I'm like, that's awesome. That's my favorite version of Catwoman. And my friend's like, go get a picture with her. I'm like, no. I'm like, because that's weird. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. So that's why I can't do that. So
I don't know about you ladies, but I think that it's okay and socially acceptable now in the Disney community to just approach somebody and say, oh my God, I love following you. You make me smile, or your content is great.
I think it is very socially acceptable, and I think I almost kind of feel weird when because people will do this to me a lot, where they'll see me and they'll make eye contact, and I know they know who I am, and I may or may not know who they are, but they won't say anything, and so I'll go about my day. And then later on in the day, I'll get a message and be like, "Hey, I saw you at blah 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 blah," and I'll be like, "Why didn't you come say hi?"
Like, yeah,
I've gotten that too.
I have that.
I also get like the side eye, because if I'm in the parks, I'm usually dressed up, bringing it back to the Disney bounding thing. So like I get people who side eye me, or I get people who try to like do that sneaky, like I'm talking, I'm texting, but I'm gonna take your picture.
I hate that.
I've had so many people do that and then send me the picture that they took of me.
That's weird.
And I'm just like, hey guys, if you see me, come up, get a selfie with me, come take a picture. Like, we'll hang out. Like, I'm not gonna bite you. I'm not, but don't just take my picture. Like,
so I had on Galaxy's Edge opening, somebody who knew me and like knew me from the community, but like I was talking to another Instagrammer, and this Instagrammer was in quotation marks famous. And so like they didn't want to like walk up and talk to us because they like either felt weird or like didn't know if it was appropriate. So they just like kind of stood back and took a picture of me and then like sent it to one of my friends later, like, hey, I saw Adriana talking to this person. How cool is that? And then they like, my friend sent it to me and was like, yeah, I don't know why they didn't just walk up to you. And it was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, that's creepy to me.
So moral of the story, don't take our pictures. Come say hi and take a picture with us.
Yes.
And
we will hang out.
We will get on the ethics of for photographing Disney bounders. And we will circle back to that. But going back, do any of you actually know how like Disney bounding got started? Because I had no idea. And people ask me all the time, do I know how this whole thing got started? You know, because John Stamos wore a white shirt with blue pants and a red belt. Everybody's like, what is this? And I'm like, it's Disney bounding. And they're like, what's Disney bounding? And I'm like, I don't really know. Like,
it's been around for a while. Leslie Kay started it a while ago. I remember it probably 6, 7, 10 years ago. It's
been a long time ago.
It's been a minute. But Leslie Kay is the godmother of Disney bounding, and she kind of filled this void because Disney has a policy where if you're over the age of 14, you're not allowed to wear a costume inside the park for character integrity and that kind of stuff. So people were very upset when this rule came into play, and so that's kind of where Disney bounding came from. It's being able to dress like your favorite characters, but not doing it in costume.
Yeah, so it's regular clothes. I ain't not a costume.
I tell people when they ask me what's Disney bounding, I say Disney bounding is a fashionable method of not copying but emulating something Disney, whether it be a character. That's the ones you see the most. You
Yeah,
see
you see a
most
lot of
people,
character.
you see most character, or most bounding is character. But then I've seen people, bound to, I've seen people bound as a Dole Whip.
Mhm.
I've seen people bound as, somebody bounded as the Astro Orbiter one time. That was awesome because she had the dress and then she had her headpiece, had the rockets. And I was like, that's so extra, but so amazing.
Dapper Day fall 2018, I did Tomorrowland, and I had a dress that it had all sorts of like 60 space girls on it, and then I had a giant Saturn fascinator. And so like Disney, I also have done an entire, I host Disney Bound Challenges, and we did an entire week of park stuff. So it was like, it was favorite rides and lands and foods and meet and greets and all sorts of fun stuff that you don't normally bound as, or not as popular.
And the next time you do one of those challenges, I'm going to need to know what they are about 3 weeks before it actually starts.
I'll announce
it
tonight if you want it.
So that I can get it together. Because my problem
Just send them the prompts, Aaron.
I can announce
what
it.
each day is a month ahead of time so that I can prepare, because I don't have a lot of solid colored clothing.
My solid colored clothing has grown exponentially. If you're, look at the dates.
Yes.
I'll have you send that to me. So
I've been waiting.
That'll officially be announced in a couple of weeks. But sneak peek for the moving platform watchers.
Hey, there you go. So, yeah, I tell people it's a fashionable way of getting around the costume rule, because it really, that's not really what it is, but it's what it is. But it allows you to be so expressive, because not everybody's fashion is the same way. Yes, whenever I'm vlogging, I have become famous, quote unquote, for this hat. I've had friends who I will go to meet them in the park, and I'll be standing right next to them, and they won't know it's me because I've decided to wear a baseball cap and not this hat. So when it came time to start bounding and trying to do a little bit more bounding, I now own at least 8 of these because I have them in different colors. I'm like, if I can get the Crayola 8 in flat caps, I'm good to go. I'll never have to buy another hat ever.
So my husband also wears the flat caps, and he bounds with me mostly on Dapper Days, but sometimes I'll get him in between. But I've hand dyed flat caps to match, because I couldn't find the correct color I wanted. Wow. So he has some really weird ones. He's got a bright yellow, like a canary yellow one, and a hot pink one that's like Barbie pink.
I don't know if I would ever have any. I don't know if I do anything that would require me to wear a pink one.
Lotso
would be a really good one.
Lotso.
Yeah.
What's funny is obviously
take it off top.
Obviously our spring Dapper Day got canceled thanks coronavirus.
Yes.
Not sure about what fall's gonna be, so that's been fun. I learned this year to not spend a lot of money on bounds, because we had the best idea we've ever had, and it got, because coronavirus. So it's on standby, and it's funny, I was posting little hints because we didn't want to tell anybody what it was. So we were sending out little hints to people, here's what my bow tie looks like, and the bow tie is a white bow tie with pink polka dots. And people were like, "Oh, you're going as Bing Bong,
Fozzie."
And it yeah. And I'm like, it's not Bing Bong, and to the point, I will show you this, because why keep it a secret now? Because we really haven't told it. You do, because I told you. I will show you and see if you can see this. This is the hand-painted parasol that we had done. That
oh wow!
cost more
From
than
the
I've ever
Umbrella
spent.
Fellas.
It was from the Umbrella Fellas.
Oh, they do fabulous work.
They're such
though.
good guys, and they did such an amazing. That when we told them what we wanted to do, and they came back with that, we didn't give them any input what we wanted. We were like, "This is what we're doing." You know, we're doing Kermit and Fozzie from the Muppet movie. Can you just?
Oh my gosh,
do
was
something?
it really?
It was.
I just total guess.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
did
goodness.
guess.
That
You
was
totally
good.
did
That
just
was good.
guess.
Yeah,
But the best
it was.
But the best
And
thing about Disney bounding is that it's easy to pick out the characters because you're going with certain things that they know.
Yes, and you, Aaron, are one of the best like picker outs of like Disney boundings, especially if they're different. Because my friend for Dapper Day, Fall Dapper Day, was a Wampa, and she was like, "Nobody gets that I'm a Wampa. I don't understand. I'm standing here in all white fur, and a red purse, like it's my turkey leg or whatever it is." She was like, "I'm a Wampa and nobody gets it." And she had like all white hair and everything, and she loves to do the hair as a part of the bound. And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Like, once we find you a Han Solo and you take this picture, they're going to get that you're a Wampa." And we saw Erin from across the street, and she goes, "You're a Wampa!" And it was the best thing ever, because she had literally just said, "No one knows who I am." And like, Erin knew. And I was like,
Yeah. I really like obscure Disney bounds. Like that's kind of my niche. I think it's like when I first started Disney bounding, I did the Snow White, I did the Cinderella, I did the Ursula, which is always my like go-to like one. I love Ursula. But I found that like I wanted to do something crazy and different and creative, and that's how I ended up doing many more obscure Disney bounds. And so my people aren't as recognizable as like, oh, you're wearing a white shirt and blue pants and a red belt, John Stamos' Prince Eric. Mine are more of, that looks like somebody, but I don't know what it's from. Let me think about it for a while.
Yeah. I think the only time mine ever got confused, which was weird, and it was the very first time I ever did a Disney bound for a Dapper Day, which was a couple years ago. I did Flynn Rider. So I just wore like some not nice dress khakis, because it's Flynn Rider. He would not dress that nice. So it was like nice, like casual khakis with like white shirt, brown tie, like undone, because again, Flynn Rider, he wouldn't be neat and tidy, with like, you know, the green sweater vest and my brown leather like messenger bag. And so because I had a brown flat cap on, so many people thought I was Naveen from Princess and the Frog. And I wasn't even mad about that. I was like, nope, but thanks. Like, I wasn't even mad. And
I would have gone Newsies.
Yeah.
No,
I would have gone Newsies too.
It was a Flynn Rider pound, and I'm like, I did not do this well.
But you know what?
And you know, that's also a good point though, is that you can dress very similar and it be a bunch of different characters. It could be translated from you know, between all three of us, we could have seen something different in you and what you were wearing. So I mean, Disney running is not just, you know, your one idea of a character. It can be, you know, everybody's different opinion on it.
yeah, a lot of different interpretations. Or like one Dapper totally thought I was doing a Snow White inspired bound, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're Kiki from Kiki's Adventures," and I was like, "I've never seen this movie."
I've never even heard of that movie.
Is it Kiki's Adventures or Spirited Away? I don't.
Delivery service?
Yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service. Yeah, and it was like a blue dress, and I had a red bow in my head, and I had like a Snow White purse, and I was like, "Oh, it's Snow White adjacent." And then everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you're Kiki," and I was like, "Who that?" I don't know what that is.
Yeah. The other thing I love about Disney bounding is being able to reuse the same pieces over and over again and just changing the accessories.
Yeah.
Because the accessories are what make your outfit. So like I could wear this same black tank top and purple sweater and be Ursula because I've got the necklace and I've got Flotsam and Jetsam on my earrings. Or I can turn around and I could be Dr. Facilier by adding like a skull in my hair. And
yeah.
so like,
I had something similar to that in that a few Dapper Days ago, I did Ursula, but I did it with the black kilt instead of pants.
mm-hmm.
And I think that was the thing that most people noticed, because I think at the time you didn't see a lot of guys wearing kilts at Dapper Day. Now you see it a lot more often because, you know, kilts are awesome and they're super comfortable. I love wearing mine, but it's just a black kilt. It was a black kilt with a purple shirt, purple tie, black vest. And I had the seashell as a tie tack. And I looked for weeks for that aqua turquoise like style fabric so I could do sleeve cuffs. I could do sleeve garters. And I wanted that to be Flotsam and Jetsam. I could not find the right color, so I didn't do it. But with that, like, I was sitting there going, man, this is a black kilt. I could do Maleficent. I could do, you know, Dr. Facilier. I could do Snow Queen. I could do all these different bounds just based off this one color that I got. And so I was like, that to me, that the reason I have so much clothing is because of bounding. But I can use so much of it for so many different things. The same vest that I wore for Flynn Rider is also my Haunted Mansion butler, my Dapper bound. So it's the same vest, and the tie from that Ursula goes with that. That's so it all, you know, makes it all, you know, intertwines. And so everybody's like, oh, with bounding, you have to buy so much clothing. And yeah, sometimes you do. You go looking for, you have no idea with that Fozzie bound, how long I looked for that tie. Like I found something that was kind of close, but not really. And then I ended up finding the exact tie on like a website in New Zealand. And so I bought it, and it took, like, no joke, it took like 9 weeks for it to come in. But when it came in and I opened it, and I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is like, it was like opening the box and the light came out. I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. And then coronavirus went and ruined everything.
Yeah.
You'll get your chance. We were going to do a big group bound that we have to wait on as well. So
and you guys plan your bounds like years in advance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so yeah. I have this one planned for 8 Dapper Days out in a row. Like, I don't care how long it takes. This bound will see the light of day.
Oh no, for Dapper Day, I pull bounds out like 2 weeks before because I am a procrastinator.
Yeah,
no, I usually have ideas.
Years in advance.
The Kitten Bomb family Dapper bounds, like, honestly,
a lot of people.
No one does it better. No one does it more original, and no one does a bigger group because they're just gigantic.
Yeah,
I have seen these group photos, and they are epic. They are huge, and I don't know how in the world you get it together. The biggest group I've ever seen in park, I saw a group that did a Toy Story bound. They were literally every toy you could imagine. It was like 15 people in that group, and I'm like, how in the world did you get that together? Yeah. Like, how long did it take? Because we were trying this Kermit Fozzie idea. It started with, let's get a group to do Muppets, and because originally I wanted to do Gonzo. I'm like, I'm calling dibs on Gonzo. I don't care who joins this group. And so then we started asking people to do it, and everybody was like, yeah, maybe, you know. We're like, okay, like, we could never get anybody who was like, yeah, let's do it. So finally we were just like, let's just do it as us. Let's just us together. And she was like, we can just do Kermit and Fozzie, you know, like the whole moving right along journey to Hollywood. And I was like, yep, perfect. Yep, nailed it. So that was it.
Yeah. And
so,
go ahead. No, you go.
Go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say that our bounds, we've got the next 2.5 years planned already for Disney bounds. Yeah, and that's only because we pushed back this last spring. So we're already starting for our fall Disney bound, planning that. But yeah, because we have such a group, I think our ultimate goal for Disney bound is the Robinsons, and we want to do every single character for the Robinsons. So that's going to take like 15 people, and we're only 60. So
Hi, I'm
we
right
will
here.
we will be taking kitten bomb applications for Dapper Day to join the family
we'll have
for
to
that
interview
one.
Adopt
candidates.
me.
Please send
You
your
volunteer.
portfolio of your previous bounds to @kittenbomb on Instagram if you would like to be considered for future projects.
Yeah.
But
So that's our big goal.
sometimes Disney bounds come together where you have to put all the work into them because they're much more complicated, and sometimes they can be thrown together when you don't even realize it. And I get through half a day at work, and then I'm like, oh, I'm dressed like Pocahontas. Cool.
Have you ever accidentally bounded in the parks? Like not realize you did it till you got there?
Yes.
Any of you? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have. I don't know if I can remember a time, but I'm sure that I have been dressed as a character. I'm like, oh yeah, that goes good as somebody.
I have. So yes and no. Every time I put on, I feel like it's very intentional. But also, I thought for Food and Wine one time, I had got like a T-shirt that was like, what did it say? It said something like, "Bonjour, Bonjour World Travelers," and it had like cheese and wine on it or whatever, and it was like maroon and gold, and I was just like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna get some yellow pants, and then I'll get like a yellow beret, and I'll put like Mickey ears on it, and everybody was like, this is a really cute Winnie the Pooh bound, and I was like, oh, that wasn't what I was doing, but okay.
What?
Food and Wine bound.
That's not what. No.
It was really unintentional, but like I was like, well, I guess it's fine.
So, let's just go like favorite. What are some of your favorite bounds that you've gotten to do? Like, what's that one that you're like so proud of that it came together perfectly, or even if it was a complete accident that it just happened to fall together, but it was the one that you ended up being the most proud of?
For me, oh gosh, this is hard. I've done a lot of them. For me, probably my favorite bound that I've ever done was my spring 2019 Dapper Day bound, which was I did Mike from Monsters Inc. and my parasol was, I did Sully from Monsters Inc. and my parasol was Mike. And my purse was wrapped in fur, and it had a Scream canister, like knuckle duster guard, like brass knuckles, but it was a Scream canister. And I had a Monsters Inc. logo in my hair, and it was a lot. It took that one I planned like well in advance, and I think it was I liked it the most because like I hand painted all those circles on that umbrella to make it the big eye, and it was a lot of work, and I loved how it came together.
Brass knuckles. Who were you looking to encounter at Dapper Day?
Life is hard out
Girls
there.
just got to be prepared,
There's a shady side of Main Street. You don't know.
That alleyway where the China shop is, there's some shady business goes down there.
Yo.
There's crap games around there by the music shop,
I mean, there's pirates running around. You never know.
It's true. Adriana, did you have one that you became your proudest, bound that you've ever done?
Probably like the first bound I've ever done that like popped, and I was like, oh, I didn't understand that was a good idea. Was probably my one for Girl with the Go With Tattoo, Aaron's bound of villainy. And it was the first bound that I did. I think it was female villain.
Yeah.
I took a pair of black jeans and I ripped them up and made them the tentacles for Ursula. And like we took a shot of me spinning, so like they were kind of like spinning. And like
it went wild.
It's such a great idea.
It did. It went wild. It was great.
It was like the first video of mine first picture of mine that ever like hit 1,000. And I was like, what?
What's that like? If I get 100, I'm like,
my God,
so much wind today.
Yeah,
So much Wednesday.
the first one that I hit 1,000 on was a picture of me coming down the stairs carrying my mic parasol.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I didn't know that people were going to respond so well to it. I think the second band I was probably the most proud of is the one that I'm wearing now, which is my Mushu bound, just because I put so much thought into it. And initially, like, it didn't get that, like, it got like the normal reception of any other picture that I would post got. But it got featured in like cosmopolitan.com. So I was just like, okay. So I was really excited about that one.
The only pictures of mine that ever get featured are usually food, because
those are good.
I'm fat and I like to eat. So
Same.
Everybody here.
So like I took
We
a
like
picture one
eating.
time of the sweet tea shine at Art Smith's homecoming. And like, I just took this picture with the sign, and the sun was hitting it just right. And I was like, then it just happened to also be like National Sweet Tea Day, which I didn't know was a thing. So that was like, I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to a sweet tea shine. So I went and got a sweet tea shine and took this picture. And then like I shared it over to Art Smith, I shared it on my story, and then Art Smith's homecoming, I tagged them, and they saw it, and they were like, oh, can we share this? I'm like, sure, go ahead. And I literally doubled in followers that day alone. I was like, oh, these people are going to unfollow so fast. So, Aaron Kittenbaum, did you ever have a bound or anything that, you kind of, was the proudest one you've ever done?
My favorite one that I've ever done was also for Aaron's Bound to Be Villainous. It was Sidekick, and so it was Smarty from Toon Patrol. Yeah, and from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And so that one was my favorite bound that I've ever done. It just came together really well, and I really liked doing that one. I mean, I've had a lot that we've done that have been like fun to do. But Bound to Be Villainous was probably my favorite week of bounding that I've ever done. So year 2, I'm so gonna fire it up, and like I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've already got like I've only got like 3 or 4 of the days already planned, but it's gonna be, I'm excited.
I only have 1 day planned, like set in stone planned, but I have a group idea that I need to like message you guys about.
Oh yes, I mean,
I have a group idea.
I don't do really any casual bounding. I think the most casual bound I do is my Mr. Smee, which was so awesome because I found the shirt at Old Navy for $8. And then all I had to buy was the red hat. And that is the one that I'll wear that I have the funniest picture. I'll probably actually use this picture for the graphic for this episode, but it's a picture of when Peter Pan had its anniversary. They brought Hook and Smee back into the parks for like a 5-day period. That was it. So I went and I put on my bound, and I went to get a picture because I just wanted a picture with Mr. Smee in the outfit. So I went to get this, and I take this picture with Mr. Smee. But the best part of this picture is behind him, Captain Hook is visibly leaning like this and just throwing so much shade at us. And I don't even know if it was on purpose or if the character was like, oh, like, I didn't, and I think that's like that's one of my favorite ones to do because it's just so simple. And it's the most casual thing. But Adriana, you said when you did your Ursula, you ripped up, so you get the tentacles. Everybody asked me why when I do Ursula, why do I wear a kilt, not pants? I'm like, tentacles.
Yeah.
Like it has the flow of Ursula's tentacles. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, now okay. I'm like, oh, now you get it. Like you understand. Yeah, I could do it with pants. But that's boring, and it's not the full potential. It's like 90% of the bound. If I wear the kilt, it's 100. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like I try to focus on a particular element of the character, and sometimes it's a texture, and sometimes it's an accessory, but like I based my entire bounds off of those ideas of like, okay, if I'm gonna do, and I also thrift my bounds, so it's kind of like, Russian roulette, where you like, I don't really know what it's gonna be until I put it together. And I just kind of like find the first piece, and then I let it tell me where it wants to go.
Yeah. Like,
Don't put that, but I don't.
For,
Nope. When mine are, I kind of know. Like, I honestly like, and this goes back to, and this will kind of segue into, everybody's fashion choice, because that's the thing with bounding. You can wear a black V-neck T-shirt, red shorts, and yellow sneakers, and you've done a pretty solid casual Mickey bound.
Yeah.
Where you can do that. But for me, I find I do most of my bounding either on Dapper Day or it's done in a Dapper style, because I found that my look that I really like to do is the sweater vest with the tie. That has, and the cuff, my sleeves cuffed up. That's just always how it's been. So yeah, when I do like a Flynn Rider, or even if I chose to do a Naveen from Princess and the Frog, those are perfect. Those looks are exactly right. But then I could do, black pants, red shirt, with a tie, and bang, now it's, a Gaston. And it's the same look, but it works because it's just my fashion choice. So everybody, kind of go around the table again. What kind of your own fashion sense do you bring to your bounds? Like, do you like to switch it up? Do you like to keep it, a certain style? How do you approach each of your bounds, thinking about your personal fashion choices?
Okay. Do you want to go? You go first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I like to follow up. Go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I tend to, like, my personal style is a little bit vintage, a little bit rockabilly. So a lot of my bounds have that influence in them. So a lot of times it's a skirt and a crop top, because that's kind of what I'm in. That's what I feel myself the most when I'm wearing that outfit. And so I want to feel confident in my bounds. So most of my bounds are skirts and tops. But there will be times when I'll look at a character and I'm like, absolutely not. This character is not going to wear a skirt. There's no way. Like my Ahsoka Tano from Bound to Be a Character. I wasn't going to put her in a skirt. Like, it didn't fit. So I was in leggings for that. And that was a really hard one for me, because it was balancing my comfort level and my style with what the character had. And so that one was hard for me. And you'll notice that if you go look at my bounds, most of them are skirts and like cute retro kind of style. But every so often I step out and I'm in pants and like shorts, and everyone's always like, that's different.
All right, Adriana, how about you?
Okay, so I kind of touched on it a little bit, as far as like style is concerned. I don't try to have a specific style, other than like, it's gonna be probably feminine, it's probably gonna be girly, but as far as like, it's not necessarily gonna be like, I know, Erin always does, try to keep a pin-up element to it. I kind of just, because I thrift my items, I kind of, like I said, let it tell me what it would be. So if I find, let's say I'm doing Goofy, which I haven't done, and I thought about this on the fly a long time ago, and I was like, when I get it together, oh boy, it's gonna be cute. But like, let's say I were to, do Goofy. Obviously Goofy is blue pants, what is it? Orange
Right.
shirt, green hat. So if I were to find those blue pants and they were like long, wide leg pantsuit pants, then I'd go with like a gangster Goofy vibe. Like, that's going to change the entire theme of what I'm doing. Or so like my Mushu, the whole idea was to have this red leather jacket. And like, obviously I have this idea in my head, but I couldn't find a red leather jacket. And so then when I found like this textured one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for like something that's more like Middle Eastern or East Asian, or like try to play on that whole vibe, because this has a lot of texture, and so I want something with applique and more texture on it. And so I found this, at the top and the skirt that matched, And so I just let it tell me what it wants to be. And that normally works out. And that way I feel like I get something different, because what I have in my head is nowhere near as creative as what the end result is going to be, because I let like the texture just come together, and then I'm like, that was way better than what I thought. Like, I'll be excited. I really do. Because I'll be like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't know it was going to look like that until I put it all together.
Okay. And Aaron, Aaron Kittenbaum, how about you with your personal fashion choices? Do you try to stick to your fashion, or do you kind of let the bound tell you what it wants to do, and change it up a bit?
No. No, the bounds don't get to tell me what to do. No. I have a very distinct masculine appeal, and therefore my bounds stay on the more masculine side. Now, it doesn't mean that I won't do a princess as a gender bend or something like that. But yeah, you'll never see me in a dress. You'll never see me in a skirt.
Never say never.
No, yeah,
No?
no,
Okay.
no. Nah, I don't feel comfortable in it, and so it would be really weird, and you would really be able to tell in a photo that I was wearing a dress and I looked uncomfortable. I mean, we could do it just for the funny fact, but yeah, no, yeah, more masculine bounds are the way that I tend to go. And not saying that I couldn't take a female character, and I have in the past, and made them more masculine, but it's what I feel comfortable in. I like a hat to go with, or a pair of suspenders and a nice pair of, shoes. I do more dapper bow tie suspenders, looks really make me comfortable. So that's what I like to do.
Yeah, Aaron and I, Kittenbaum, our dapper fashions are very similar. She just makes it look better. Mine is the like, oh, that's cute. Hers like nailed it. mine's like, oh, okay, good for you. Yeah, you tried.
That's my wife. She'll put it all together for me. I just be like, make me look good.
Like, I think if I'm thinking about like Aaron's, Kittenbaum's, like different style bounds, I think the one that pops into my head is Cruella from Villainous. It just, like, it's still the same pieces. It's a pants, it's a shirt, it's a hat. Did you have a hat? I don't know. No, you didn't have a hat.
No, I didn't have a hat for that one.
But
it was very
it was very punk rock. It was
street punk rock. Yeah,
but it was
different for me.
So different. But so that's why it sticks out in my head of how different it was.
But then again, it's still more on the masculine side, even though I picked Cruella to do. I channeled more of the Carlos from the Descendants.
Yes.
With it. Yeah.
And I love Disney bounding because, like, Michael, you've done Ursula. I've done Ursula several times. Adriana's done Ursula. Have you done Ursula, Aaron?
Oh, it's coming up.
But chances are you could lay all of our pictures out next to each other, and you'd be able to tell that we're all Ursula, but we're all so different. And that's the coolest thing about Disney bounding for me. I'm
excited to see Kittenbaum's Ursula, because you have that sweet hair.
Oh.
You can't if you ever do Ursula, you can't put that under a hat. You've got to let that hair go. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I liked the Maleficent hair.
That Maleficent hair was something different in my head. I was not happy with it, but a lot of people liked it as the horns, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it worked for, I guess it worked, but I was ready for a haircut.
Yeah. I think that's how people really liked my People Mover bound that I did, which was the work shirt that said like the Tomorrowland Transit Authority and Tomorrow. And with my little space buns and the blue lipstick. And I look at those pictures and I cringe. Like, if I could go back and redo that outfit, I would. because, and I may
That
go back.
one.
I love
No,
the shirt.
I liked that one. Yeah.
See, like, but I look at it and I'm like, I could have done so much better.
I mean, like, we all have those bands that we go back to and we're like, oh God. Like, my first band was like Pocahontas, and it was literally like a
Your
t-shirt.
Pocahontas was cute. Don't even. That was so cute. I loved your Pocahontas.
I did too.
Thank you. That was my baby bound. Baby's first bound.
See, and that's before we go too far into that. I had really two more questions before we get into the final thing we'll do today.
Okay.
Which is, what was the first bound that you ever did? For me, it was Flynn Rider. That was the first time that for my first Dapper Day, I wore like gray pants, a white shirt, and like my Haunted Mansion wallpaper bow tie. And I was like, yeah, this is Dapper Day, and then the next year, like, you literally you look at it and you just look at like the glow up, because I got more and more and more into it. And now we're like talking about like a hand painted parasol. And Lindsay's like, I'm not going to carry that all day. And I'm like, oh, who said you were carrying it? I'm like, that's mine. No. So, because I wanted to do same guys, if we can, once we get back to a sense of normal, I want to do a Quasimodo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. But I want them to do the parasol. I want it to be that opening shot of Notre Dame through the clouds, like right in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. So, but my first like legitimate, like, I'm going to Disney bound was my Flynn Rider. So what everybody's first bound?
My first one was Snow White, and I look back on pictures of it now and I cringe, because it was not like it was a blue skirt when she has a yellow skirt, but it was a blue skirt and a yellow top instead of the other way around, and it was just a big red bow in my hair. Like it was a baby bound. It was me trying something new for the first time and stepping outside my comfort zone. And I look back on it and I'm like, yeah, that's not a great bound. But I also look at it and I go, but look how far I've come.
Yeah, that's how you have to look at it. Is like, oh, look at this glow up. Like, look at how good I've gotten at doing this.
Yeah.
Adriana, you said your first was Pocahontas. I've never seen that, so I'm gonna have to go find that.
Oh, it's adorable.
You're muted, sweetie.
I'm sorry. It's on my feed. And it wasn't that long. Maybe it was 2 years ago. So I had my account for a while. I just never bound it before, because I was like, I'm a Disney style account. And then my friend who Frozen Fantasyland, who's a huge bounder, amazing bounder, she was coming into town, and she was like,
for her birthday, right?
Yeah, it was her birthday.
Yeah.
She was doing all Rapunzels every single day. She did a different Rapunzel every single day. And I am the type of friend that's like, not that you're not going to outshine me, because you could outshine me all day long, but I'm going to come correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all all looking cute, like if I go to an event with the girl with the doe tattoo, I know I need to be pinup. I'm not going to come regular. So that's how I felt about Frozen Fantasyland. Like, she is the bounder. She's the bounding queen. We were going to be hanging out that day, and I needed to put together something. And so I was like, let me get this shirt. Let me rip it up. I think this is going to look cute for Pocahontas. And I made a pair of ears that looked really cute. And at the time, I loved the way it came out. And then as I got better, I was like, oh, I could do a much better job than, a ripped up t-shirt.
You just learn. Yeah, you just learn.
Do. You do. I had somebody the same day I did that Flynn Rider thing. It was so discouraging. Like, as I was leaving, and I ran into somebody, and they were like, I was like, oh, they're like, who are you bounding as? I was like, oh, it's Flynn Rider. And they were like, oh, the sweater's the wrong color. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, and then I looked, and apparently, I guess, like, in like photos for Tangled, his vest was like a more aqua color, like a teal. But in the movie, it is dark hunter green. And I'm like, and that's what I went with. And I was like, I was so sad. So I was like, maybe that's why nobody got it. I'm like, okay, So Aaron Kittenbaum, what was the first bound for you?
I would hardly call it a bound because there was nothing to it. It was Ursula. It was Dapper Day 2016 fall, and we had never even heard of bounding. And the girls, my sister-in-laws, were going as like the Jungle Cruise and Iago, and they're like, you guys should come, and we're all like, we have nothing. So it was literally whatever was in my closet. I pulled it out, and it was purple top and gray pants and gray shoes and gray suspenders and a gray hat. And so that's always been just related to Ursula, but it was never an Ursula to me. So it was like I didn't have any accessories, it was just clothes. So we went. That was my first bound.
Yeah,
The
so
next year was much better. It's goofy.
everybody's first bound is always something, but as you know, like you make the lap, like say for Dapper Day, every year for Dapper Day, I see me getting a little bit more, like a little bit, I say a little bit more extra, because I'm just like, I'm like leveling up every year, like from just a shirt and a bow tie to, then I found the sweater vest look, was like, this is really nice. Then, you know, we started bounding. One year I bounded it as the bubblegum wall. That was fun.
Okay.
No one
Yeah.
got it, but that was fine because I didn't care. You know, so I did that. And then like Ursula was like the most like invested I ever got in a bound. And then we make the lap again. And here we are looking at wanting to do this Kermit and Fozzie bound, which is definitely the most work and thought that I've ever put into anything like this.
I'm excited to see that one. I can't wait because we did the Muppets a couple years back. So I'm excited. I love the Muppets. I love when anybody does the Muppets because there's so many different characters that you can do with the Muppets. They will never get old.
Yeah.
So,
and I
go ahead,
think,
Erin.
and I think the moral of that part of it was, if you're thinking about bounding, just do it. Like, everybody starts someplace, and like nobody is. It's easy to scroll through like the Disney Bound hashtag, and like it's easy on like Instagram or Facebook or anything. It's easy to scroll through that and be like, I'm not going to do this. Everybody is so much better than me. Like, these are so great, and I'm not going to do it. And I know that's what I did for a while. Was I was looking it up, and I'd be like, I have none of these clothes. I'm not doing it. But it was so much fun. It's such a big part of my life now that I finally was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm doing it.
Yeah. I think we all have that little bit of anxiety where we're like, wow, all of these people before me are amazing. Please don't laugh at me. Which is, you know, what I that's what it personally feels like to me when I'm like trying something new. I'm like, well, I want to do it right, and I don't want anybody to laugh at me, but it's just really just going for it and trying.
Yeah. You don't have to, you know, as when it comes to anything, you know, you can't be scared to do anything. When it comes to Disney bounding, there is no right and wrong way. Same thing with Dapper Day. There's no right and wrong way to do Dapper Day, which is what bugs me so much when I hear people who actually get, and I don't want to turn this negative, but they actually kind of throw shade at people who Disney bound on Dapper Day, because Dapper Day is not for Disney bounding. And I'm like, okay, there's no right and wrong way to do Dapper Day. So, you know, there's no right and wrong way to do a Disney bound. Yeah, somebody told me, oh, your Flynn Rider vest was the wrong color. Okay, maybe to you, but to me, it was perfectly fine. And when I met Rapunzel, she had a fit. She thought that was the most amazing thing. And so to me, that's like, okay, like there's no right and wrong way to do these things. It's what you want to do. It's about you bringing your style and your personality to an outfit that is inspired by something Disney.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
So let's talk I don't want to, don't reveal anything you might have in the works that you don't want people to know about, but what's the one bound that you've always had in the back of your mind that you're like, I want to do this and one day I'll do it? Like what's that bound, for you?
So I really so anytime they have conventions, I know these aren't technically bounds. They're more cosplays. But anytime
because there is a difference.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
There's totally a difference. And I feel like sometimes I skirt the line between the difference, which is perfectly, at the end of the day, it's perfect. It's all fun. But I really love when like they do it for D23 and they do it for other conventions where they take like a character, but in the style of this. So Snow White, but like the Mandalorian. Like those are so cool to me. And so like obviously without giving any of them away, I pretty much talked about them on my Instagram already. But I want to do like I want to do one of the princesses and do it in a punk style. I also Audrey Lee Young, I always say it wrong. Audrey Lee Young is a huge Instagram Disney bounder, and she did this amazing project called African Princess, and where she did all of the princesses but in African print. And got together a group of different
amazing.
girls.
I think I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that was amazing.
If you've never seen it, go look her up, Audrey Lee Young, or you could just type in this African Princess, and it'll pop up on Instagram. It's really really cool. But one of their princesses dropped out on the last minute, and I noticed that she wasn't in the picture, and so it's one of my favorite princesses. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, is there a reason why you don't have this princess? And she was like, oh yeah, they dropped out. And I was like, good, because I want to do my own version of it. And she was like, yeah, get it together, girl, whenever you're ready. And so I love when people do those type of bounds. So those are some things I got in the works.
All right. Whoever wants to go next.
Not it. Go. Your turn.
Not it.
I mean, I'll go ahead and go. I yield to guests, or I try to, but I'll go. Really, obviously, I want to do the Quasimodo, but that was the idea of that was because when I saw the Umbrella Fellas, I think a couple Dapper days ago, they did. He had the Pinocchio umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God. Like, and then I just got this idea. I'm like, oh my God, I want to do Hunchback of Notre Dame, but that's what I want. Like, but honestly, the one that I've been sitting on and I want to do is I want to do a 50s sock hop couples bound of Flynn and Rapunzel.
That'd be really cute.
That'd be cute.
That one's always like, and because I love that, taking something and making it a different genre, different style. Like, you said, I saw somebody at Tampa Comic Con. Obviously, it was a cosplay, but she was in a full Boba Fett armor, but it was Ariel.
Yeah.
So it was like turquoise. Her hair was bright red. She had the helmet, but she wasn't wearing it because she had the bright red hair. But like she had the clamshells and all these different subtle things, like all the symbols from Boba Fett's outfit were redone to match Little Mermaid. And I was like, that's amazing. Like, I love seeing that. Obviously, you would never see that in a park outside of like maybe a Mickey's Not So Scary. But I think even then, like, that's going maybe a bit too far, and you may get told you can't come in with that. I wouldn't know. But when I saw that, I was like, that's so amazing to see when people do that. And I've seen it on Dapper Days as well. Like, I saw a guy walking around, and you would have thought when you saw him, you're like, oh, he's burnt the chimney sweep. But then when you got a little bit closer, you could see he had the pink ribbon with the black tuft of fur. And I'm like, no, he's Eeyore.
That's cute. I like that.
All right. So whoever wants to go here, what's that one bound you're sitting on?
Like I said earlier, and I probably give it away too early, but
That's
is
okay.
Meet the Robinsons.
We decided we were going to keep our Muppet one quiet, and I just.
I'm telling Lindsay.
Oh no, she's going to listen. She's going to say, "You don't have him." Like,
I'm texting her right now.
It's probably going to be a year before we can even do it anyway.
Yeah. Meet the Robinsons, and it's strictly I think what really holds us back from that one is the just amount of people we want to be able to do it and do it right. Because if we just did a few of the Robinsons, people would get it and everything, but to come out and like with everybody from the family from the future would just like. So I think that's one the family sits on pretty much every year.
And what about you, Erin?
Okay, so probably the two that I'm like sitting on right now, and I need to figure out a way to do them, are I want to do kind of a 1940s gender bent Dad from Carousel of Progress, John Progress.
Oh, I like that.
But
I've seen a few guys do him for Dapper Day, and I've thought about doing it because I want the fan, the Niagara Falls fan.
I want to do the Niagara Falls fan.
I've thought about doing that.
But with like a big skirt.
Where I carry all my weight, I do not look good in suspenders.
I get that.
I don't wear suspenders because I just don't look good in them. So.
And the other one I'm sitting on right now is the Lost Boys. I want to do a group Lost Boys one.
Oh, I would love that.
I'm in. Totally in.
Yeah.
I do want to do a Lost Boy
version, or like
what?
Yeah,
I missed what you said, Aaron.
Like the Hook version, or like the story. Either one. I'm good. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Aaron just wants to call dibs on Rufio.
I would love
But
like
no,
a super cool androgynous Lost Boy.
I want to do like a full pinup Lost Boy. Like
that would be fantastic.
I want to do like the big skirt, but kind of like do it like with maybe like a fur, or I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm sitting on that one. I've laid it out a couple of times and it never fully comes together. So I really just need to not try to.
I think it's not coming together because you need more people, and it needs to be a group.
It definitely needs to be a group
because it's just one Lost Boy is just an orphan. You need more people.
That's fact. You need it. They're all orphans. So I know. So Lost Boys definitely is someplace where that's where my head goes. I also think it would be fun to do the different animals from the Jungle Cruise. I don't know how I do it, but the different animals would be fun. It may just be it might just be like an Africa bound for Animal Kingdom, but I think specifically going through and doing like butterfly and the snake and like do them in order, and that'd be fun. But
I mean, the butterfly is the largest animal in the jungle. I mean, their wingspan goes up to 12 inches, which is almost a foot.
Yeah, it's a whopping 12 inches. Or a foot.
So, right. So real quick, as we wrap up, something I do with people that have never been on the moving platform, whether it be podcast or video, you have to play 5 questions. There's softball. Okay. First thing that comes to your mind, no, don't overthink it. Go with your heart. Go with your gut. We'll go Aaron, Adriana, then Kitten Bomb. Sorry, Aaron. That's just how it's going to go.
I don't wanna.
You're gonna. All right. Here we go. Question 1. Favorite Disney character?
Ray, Princess and the Frog.
Love it.
Oh, am I next?
Yes.
You are.
Yeah, Mulan.
All right. Very nice. These are all answers that I've never gotten. All of those. So, by the way, I love
different group.
I love Princess and the Frog. I lived in Louisiana for 15 years. Princess and the Frog just speaks to my heart. It also speaks to my stomach through beignets.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about the Splash Mountain redo. Like, well, we won't get into that, but I'm so excited because
I just want them to bring beignets to Magic Kingdom.
Thank you. Yes. I don't want a gift shop. I want Tiana's Beignet Cafe. Come on.
They can redo the outpost where the fries are no longer as good as they used to be. Done.
Yeah.
It's never open.
Money right there.
It's never I've never seen that outpost open.
No, but the fries used to be good, and then they changed the fries, and they're not good anymore.
It used to be McDonald's fries.
It did.
Yeah.
Now they're like
are you guys talking about the restaurant that's in the middle of like Tom Sawyer's Island?
No, we're talking about
that's Aunt Polly's.
Western outpost.
Right next to
it's the shack right across from the patio on at Pecos Bills. It literally's never
She's
open.
got it now.
Yeah, if it's open, you shouldn't be in the park because it's too busy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think, but also they can take Aunt Polly's whatever Shake Shack in the middle of the pond and do something with that too. Tiana can get 2 restaurants. You know what I'm saying?
Tiana can have as many restaurants as she
You
wants.
know, why do we even need a Frontierland? We're not gonna get into this.
Okay.
We're not gonna get into this.
Question 2.
That's a whole other conversation right there.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole episode about that. So let's move on. Question number 2. Actually, we'll start with Adriana this time. Question 2, favorite Disney movie?
Mulan.
That's okay. Fun fact, I actually didn't see Mulan for the first time till probably about 3 years ago.
Mulan was my entire childhood. And the first time I went to Disney, they were having a Mulan parade. And so I was like, it's all about Mulan.
All right, let's go Kitten Bomb.
Toy Story.
All right. And then
Good
back to Aaron.
answer.
Princess and the Frog.
Nice. See, there you go. So many people when Splash Mountain News came out were like, I've never even seen Princess and the Frog. I'm like, you are missing out. Like,
It's
you
got the
have
best
no idea what
music.
you're missing out on.
It's got the best music. It's got a great storyline. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yep. So question 3, we'll go Kitten Bomb first this time. Question 3, favorite Disney park attraction. And if you've been to an international park
People
or if
Mover.
you've been to Disneyland, it can be anything. People Mover.
Yes, I love me some People Mover. I will go and just ride that and then.
Me
go.
too. That's
No,
what
I get that. Yep.
do. Do I have to change my answer now because she used mine? People Mover.
All right. And Adriana?
Do it, bandwagon.
No, People Mover is not my favorite ride. My favorite ride is actually people think is the most boring ride. Carousel of Progress, but Rise of the Resistance is a top as well.
Yeah. Rise of the Resistance is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's above all. But if you're gonna talk about classics,
It's on a different level.
Okay.
Rise is on a different level.
oh, absolutely. I was day one of the first 100 people own it. Your girl was hype.
I was one of the people. I didn't go the first day. I went the first Monday after they opened, but I was one of the people that got there at 4:30 in the morning, and it was so early.
I did that 3 times in 1 week.
Oh my gosh, I did it twice in a week.
I'm very much a one and done type of. I mean, I don't not done forever, but if I go opening day, I'm going hard as I can. I'm going to ride this ride first, and then I'm good for the next 6 months. I did it.
I don't ever have to do this again. I'll do this
I
when
feel
they
like
open
that
up a
says a
regular
lot
standby
about you
line.
as a person.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right, and it's everybody, right? Yeah. So question 4, we'll go to, I think it's Kitten Bomb's first time to answer. No, it's Adriana's first time to start here. So question 4, your favorite thing to eat or your favorite meal on property. It can be a snack, quick service, full service, whatever you want.
Ooh,
And again, if you've gone to an international park or to Disneyland, you can also answer there.
I'm going to say a Disneyland churro because Walt Disney World had us full thinking that our churros, everybody was like, I love a churro. I love a churro. And I had a churro for the first time at Disney World. And I was like, this is not good. I
Those are
don't know what
gross.
y'all. Yeah, I'm like, what is y'all hype about? Until I realized that they meant the churros in Disneyland.
Yeah,
And when
Disneyland
I had
churros just hit differently.
they do.
it hit
It's
so
that no
different.
humidity. It's the no humidity and the fact that they're made at the cart. They're not
It was
brought
fresh.
out and then sold. Yeah. They're made in the cart. When you get it, it's hot.
It warmed my whole soul. Okay.
All right. Moving, Kitten Bomb.
Caramel corn.
From Caramel Kucha?
I love me some caramel corn.
Is that how you say that?
Caramel corn.
It's not how. That's not what I call the German restaurant. The German snack shop.
What do you call the German snack?
It's a family show. I can't say it.
Oh, okay.
But that's you right.
No.
You right.
Nobody say it. So,
guys, I've been really good this entire show.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
I feel like everybody expects me to say Dole Whip because I have it tattooed on my arm.
But let's take Dole Whip out of the equation.
If we take Dole Whip out of the equation, onion rings at Tune In Lounge.
Oh.
When I have had a bad day, you will find me at Tune In Lounge stuffing my face with onion rings. They're the best.
I've never even. Where's Tune In Lounge?
It's the lounge that's connected to Primetime.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it had its own name.
Yeah, it's Tune In Lounge.
I was just like, oh, it's the living room part of the house to 50s Primetime.
That's essentially what it is.
I didn't know it had its own, and I also didn't know they had onion rings.
You can get the whole menu from Primetime there.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Hey, you learn something new every day.
Yep.
And question 5, who's turn? I think it's Kitten Bomb. So unfortunately, you get to start this one. Question 5, Blue Sky, you are the Imagineer. It's your turn to pitch whatever you want. Be a show, parade, restaurant, ride, whatever you want. You are the one pitching this idea. What are you pitching to Imagineering? What do you want to see come to the park?
Holy cow! I gotta start this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's you got that. That one just came around to you. Sorry.
I want to see. Crap! I don't have a clue. I want to see more done with Toy Story, just because the land is so small, and I just there's the characters need to come in. Like, I just feel like they could be built on Toy Story more. Yeah.
So possibly just an expansion of Toy Story Land, like blow out the back of it and expand it more, do a little bit more there.
Yeah, and even bring in Pixar. Like, I guess more Pixar than just Toy Story. Develop such into.
And you've gotten to do Disneyland, so you've gotten to do Pixar Pier.
Yeah, Pixar Pier. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, me, I personally just would like to see Cars Land.
I would love to see Cars Land.
Come this way.
Oh, that's a good one.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to see Cars Land come this way. So, all right, Dole Whip, Aaron Dole Whip.
Okay, I got 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I would love to
This
see
is
them.
my turn.
I should have. I'd love to see them redo Body Wars, but do it with Inside Out.
Okay. Okay.
And I would love to see some sort of dark ride or fast ride up themed, where like you're in the house, like going.
Okay. All right. And Adriana.
Up or anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah.
Since Aaron did, so I got 2 too. Okay, because I couldn't remember. I couldn't decide which one I wanted. So the first one is quick. First one, we don't need the 3 caballeros. Who are they? They are not even like a real thing. No, we don't.
Step back. You're done.
We don't. What we need is for them to revamp that entire ride and just go ahead and give it to Miguel and give us a Coco ride. I'm not gonna back down. We don't need the 3 caballeros. Them ducks ain't Mexican. Like, that's not accurate. Give it to Miguel and retheme the whole thing, since we retheme and stuff. But I feel like they can go ahead and give him his own ride. But seeing as Disney like to just reuse space, go ahead and give it to Miguel. Now the second one, and both of mine are going to be in Epcot because it's my favorite park. The place that exists that is Africa, that people don't even acknowledge as Africa in Epcot, should be turned into Wakanda. But this is how they gonna do it.
Ooh.
They're gonna leave it how it is on the outside, because that's how we're used to seeing it. And then somewhere in them trees, somewhere you can just go in and do little maze, and it opens up into Wakanda. So it's like it was there the whole time, and we just didn't know, because that's how Wakanda really is.
So kind of like they did Toontown, where you have to go like under the bridge and it's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Disneyland.
But like, yeah, absolutely.
Wakanda.
But like a secret entrance, kind of like Diagon Alley in Universal, where it's like you can walk past it and not know it's there, but like you turn this corner, it opens up and it's like, and they don't have to change a thing about that crappy place they call the African Outpost. Leave it like that. So then we'd be like, wait, this was here the whole time? Yes, Wakanda been hiding us for years, okay?
I would agree with that. I would really like to see that. But in the defense of the African Outpost, one of the best snacks that I've gotten recently was back during Festival of the Holidays. They had the Coke, the vanilla ice cream Coke float, but it was done with the cinnamon Coca-Cola.
Oh,
That was really, really good.
It
They
was
always
so
have,
good.
they always have at least one really good drink there. Like if you're drinking around the world, people skip the African Outpost, and I'm like, don't sleep on it.
Yeah. Make it a 12 drink. Make it a 12 drink round, not an 11.
Or just skip China because nobody wants your tipsy ducks in love. Nobody wants it.
I won't drink around the world because Epcot doesn't have enough shade, and when I get drinking, I don't like to be in the heat.
Facts.
Don't
so many
pound it.
times I done drunk around the world and then ask myself why. Just be hot and then do it again the next week.
I tell people
Annual
either,
pass holder problems.
I tell, thank you. I tell people if you're going to drink around the world, start in Canada and work the other way around. Finish with tequila. Don't start a day worth of drinking with a shot of tequila.
No, my favorite is I start in England because I come in through the international gateway. I start in England and I do England, Canada, Mexico. Because after England and Canada, I get some tacos to go with my Mexico.
There you go.
And then
There you go.
Get something to soak it up now.
yep, and then by the time you get to America, you're ready for like more food.
A burger.
And you're ready for like fries.
Right. Oh, okay, everybody has a strategy, and I love this because I normally start in France because I love myself a slushy drink. It's like my appetizer.
Oh, you can't do that. That's so much sugar on the front.
It's okay. I'll be fine. I already drank 2 gallons of water because I'm preparing myself for today. And so then I get to Germany and I get the pear brandy. That is my all-time favorite drink because you can walk past 2 to 3 different countries before that thing slap and you be like, oh, I'm drunk. And then after that, I normally end up in Mexico and we like walk out real slow with our Mexico drink, with our tequila. And what is it? Cava del Tequila?
La Cava.
La Cava. Yeah, we love that place.
All right. So this, we went from Disney bounding to here's how you have strategy.
How you drink.
Here's your plan. Here's drinking around the world 101. This is the tips and how you do it. So for
We're
me,
multi-purpose guests.
I love this. This was amazing. So real quick, to bring in, it used to be to find a way to bring 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea back to the parks, whether it be with some way. Obviously, they're not going to dig a big hole and put a submarine ride back in the parks. It's okay. But my other one, I want to see a real snuggly duckling.
Oh, I would love that. That would be
like
really
a Trader Sam's-esque lounge, but that's also 4 times bigger. So, it's not full with 20 people. So
hey, they have 52.
52? Okay. So, but I want like a Trader Sam's-esque, or maybe like an event, like throwing it way back, the Adventurers Club style, but to the snuggly duckling.
I think that they could retheme Pinocchio's village house to the snuggly duckling, and I would not be angry.
I wouldn't be mad. Who goes to Pinocchio's village house for pizza? I'm sorry, flatbread.
True. You ain't never lied.
Disney should hire us.
They need to get most of the food in Magic Kingdom, but I really hope an Imagineer is listening to this podcast because we done gave y'all some gems, okay, from some real Disney fans who have probably collectively spent about $1 million between the 4 of us. Okay?
I don't want to think about that.
Right. So if you're listening,
come the holiday season, I'm just going to have Adriana on for an episode called A Disney Festivus for the rest of us. And I'm just going to be like, and go. And just let her just run down everything she wants changed.
I will hold you to that.
Adriana's
coming through.
12 days of Christmas giveaways.
Right. So, but ladies, thank y'all so much. Everybody go around. We'll start with Dole Whip. Go around, tell people where they can find you on Instagram or if you're any of your other platforms.
You can find me on Instagram at the girl with the Dole Whip tattoo. I'm also on Facebook at the same place, the girl with the Dole Whip tattoo.
Adriana?
You can find me on Instagram as bippity boppity underscore broke. And you can also find me on TikTok as bippity boppity underscore broke as well.
Yeah, she only needs like 5 more followers and she gets her blue check. So go show her some love. Girl, when I met you, you had like maybe 4,000 followers. Now what? You're knocking on like 17,000 now.
This has been a whirlwind of a
It's been
quarantine.
crazy for you.
It really has been. I'm very grateful. It's really happened overnight, and I love that you guys are like, we're here when I had 300 followers to say like, she the same crazy person.
Yep. She has not changed one bit.
I art directed your first like huge thing.
Absolutely. Like, and that's what I said. Everybody who's, listening does not know me. 9 times out of 10, Erin is behind the camera, making sure that I look good. Either she's taking the picture or she's making sure that I look good, that all my rolls in the right place, that my shirt pulled down, that my hair
saying
ain't
really
crazy.
inappropriate things about her butt.
Yeah, trying to make me laugh. Like, my friends are half of my Instagram, and you would not get those pretty pictures if it weren't for them.
Hey, the best smile you can give in an Instagram post is actually a photo of you laughing.
Yeah.
It makes for the best. It makes the best ones. And finally, Kitten Bomb.
You can find me at Kitten Bomb on Instagram, and then Kitten Bomb Chronicles on YouTube.
That's right. You do the YouTube thing as well.
Awesome.
I dabble, but it's Corona really kind of dampened some YouTube experiences this year.
It really did. It was weird going back to Universal last week and having to film. Because I was like, I've forgotten how to do this. So what is vlogging? I don't know. So we went a little longer than I'd like, but that's perfectly fine because this conversation was so much fun. Thank all of you ladies for coming on and talking about Disney bounding. Make sure that you hop over to Instagram and and follow all of them. Hit Adriana. She's got TikTok, which because I'm pushing 40, I do not understand.
I don't understand it either, but I'm trying.
Everybody kept telling me, "Oh, you should TikTok." I'm like, no.
Well, that new feature's coming to Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes,
and everybody will jump off of TikTok and just do it on Instagram.
That's pretty much.
Thanks. Yep. And once I realized that I could, if my vlogs were less than 15 minutes, I could put them on IGTV too. I was like, cool. 15 minutes is the target.
Yeah.
So, but thank you guys. Thank you all of you ladies for coming on today. It was so much fun.
Thanks for having us.
I really appreciate that. Hopefully all of you enjoyed listening to this, but hopefully I get to see you ladies in park soon. Hopefully everybody getting ready for a reopen.
Yeah, nervous and excited at the same time.
Both.
Yeah.
Disney needs to figure its life out so I can get my annual pass back.
I heard you've been having some difficulties.
We'll talk about that outside of
We'll talk about that after, right? That's a whole conversation. So, but thank you ladies for coming on. And like I said, hopefully I get to see you all in the park very soon.
Thanks, Michael.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of The Moving Platform, a special video cast of the podcast. Like I said, it's the same audio, it was the same show, but you got the visual element, and I also got to put in the photos of those bounds that I was talking about, so you really got to see like my Flynn Rider bound and the different bounds that we've gotten to do, the different things we talked about on the show. So you got that element of that visual where you got to really see what Disney bounding is, what it can be, a lot of different things. Disney bounding, it's so much fun to do. It's such a fun community to be a part of, and I am so grateful for all of those girls coming on today. Please look down in the video description below. You will find all of their links where you can follow both Erin's and Adriana on all of their social media platforms. Please go and show them some love. They always putting out really, really great content. I'm going to definitely probably have them on again. And, maybe that idea to the holiday Festivus show. Maybe that's something that we'll do every year. Maybe that'll be our Christmas special every year. We'll do a holiday Festivus. So, but thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share with all of your friends and family. And as always, watch your step.